Hi, my name's Christopher Maggard. I'm a director, producer, and editor. What got me all started in this? Well, let's go back to when I was a little kid. Not that little kid, a different little kid. So, when I lived in Fountain Valley, California, I was a wee little boy. And I remember what got me started was my best friend down the street named Raymond. His parents had an RV, and I was inspired by the movie Star Wars. And I had all my Star Wars toys, and my buddy Raymond had them too. And so my dad had an 8 millimeter camera, kind of go bzzz, like that. And so I took my dad's camera, and me and my buddy Raymond took his parents' RV inside at the driving wheel, the two seats. We turned it into our version of the Millennium Falcon. And yes, I know what you're thinking about right now, Spaceballs. We did it first. Just saying. So we did that. And then I built this little set at my parents' back patio. Took some piece of paper, painted it black, made stars on it, made it look like space. I built space shuttle, hung it on fishing line, made a little support with some strings, and I hung it in front of that little space backdrop. And I did the classic George Lucas style with my dad's 8 millimeter camera. I just kind of went underneath the space shuttle as it was passing by. And then I did a couple more angles. You know how like in the opening of Star Wars, the Death Star's coming over. I kind of did that. So I was inspired by George Lucas and Star Wars. And I guess that was my little bug at 9 years old that bit me. But beknownst to me, later in California when I was living there, as I got older, I would get bit by a larger bug. But something else happened in my family before that. In the same house in Fountain Valley, California, we had our paranormal experiences, which will later on end me into a reality series. But let me tell you about that story. In this house we lived in a very modest middle class neighborhood, something started attacking my sister and literally started beating the crap out of her right in front of us, pulling her hair, grabbing her legs. Looked like someone was punching her in the gut, destroying things in the house. We would literally see things moving around in the house. And the torture my sister went through damn near killed her, because one day, it was Saturday, I can remember this like it was right now or just happened. It was around 11 a.m. to noon. We're all in the kitchen. My sister's standing by the sink. I'm sitting at the table with mom and dad. My brother's up by the counter between us and the kitchen. Normal Saturday. I was going to go down to my friend Raymond's house and go play Star Wars, of course. My brother Jim, he was going to go do whatever he was on his motorcycle. And then Kim, it literally looked like someone just grabbed her and threw her towards the kitchen window. She braced for impact, went through the window, cut her up, and freaked our parents out. We went through the whole thing trying to get someone to come in our house, try to figure out what was going on, why this unknown force was attacking my sister, why it was destroying us and playing with all of us. I actually seen this thing. I tried to go to the bathroom, and in the hallway right there in front of the bathroom, because we had a little night light in the bathroom that illuminated the hallway, there was this shimmery, what I call the predator effect, figure standing right there. I didn't go to the bathroom, let's say, because it walked into the bathroom. Done. So after what happened to my sister, even my parents took her to different doctors to do tests on her, medical tests, to see if something was wrong with her, mentally, physically, nothing. So my parents tried to get people from the church to come bless our homes and stuff like that. My mom and dad got into the Bible and tried to do prayers, and nothing happened. It just kept continuing attacking us, so we moved out of that house, and then that house burnt down right after we moved out. But that would launch me into studying, reading books, how something we can't see can attack us. And I know this sounds like straight out of The Exorcist, but it was real. And I don't wish this on anybody to go through the shit that me and my family went through. But it launched me to start studying the paranormal. And then as I got older, in my teenage years in California, I started chasing urban legends. And then while doing that, I met my good friend I went to high school with, and we were living in Grand Terrace, which is out by Riverside, San Bernardino area. And his brother was into the film industry, and then when I graduated high school, I started working for him as a PA, and I worked on some long sets, long hours, but I was really bit at that time. I've done quite a few movies with him, low budget, of course, even some that were a little risque, if you know what I mean. I was a set designer. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. And let's say it was a parody of Terminator 2. Okay, no more. And he even did another film called Merlin's Mystical Wonders, and I just found it on Amazon, which is quite funny. And I built a whole set on that. So I worked as a PA for about 5 years, and then I grew up, got out of it, and then I did some things out in California, just trying to live. And I got tired of California, and I moved out here to Northern Kentucky. And once I got out here to Northern Kentucky, I realized so much history was here in Northern Kentucky. So I created a paranormal group. We started doing things, and someone hit us up, hey, do you want to do a paranormal reality show? I said, sure, why not? So we did one for 5 seasons on a Roku channel called Paranormal Reality TV. Did that for 5 seasons, but I wasn't happy. I didn't like it. I wanted something more. So then I did a documentary out of Harlan, Kentucky, about this guy named Mansell Shepard, who created so much crime in the early 1900s and killed a cabbie to have some money for him and his buddies and go partying. Well, he got caught, and he was executed actually in the courthouse when they tried him. So we did reenactments of that, and my stepson Kevin played the nephew of the murdered taxi cab driver. And Mansell Shepard was shot in the back of the head in the courthouse during this trial. They rushed him off to the hospital. Then the judge says to the jury, we need to have a sentence now. And the jury says death. They wanted death for Mansell Shepard. So they called up the hospital and they said, how's Mansell Shepard? Oh, he just died. Can we say Kentucky justice? So that right there started me on a new adventure. And that was where I decided I want to do a feature film. And I talked to my wife about it, and she'd never done anything with the film industry. And God bless her heart, she asked me every question in the world. Why am I buying this certain light? Why am I buying this certain tripod? Or why do I need these kind of gels? Or why do I need these kind of clamps and all that? Or this type of camera? And she learned why. And so that launched us to do a very low budget film out of a really haunted, abandoned middle school up in Ohio called Polestown Elementary. And that's where we filmed Rosalie for 8 days. It didn't come out the way I wanted. I was new as a director, as a producer, and as an editor when it came to that. And my cinematographer did not fulfill his obligation to contract. So we lost 20 minutes of footage for Rosalie, which is really sad. And I'm not happy with Rosalie. I'll be the first one to tell you. I'm my worst critic. But it won 4 awards. And Shockfest Film Festival, Darkness, that was in Rosalie, is one of the award winners. And I can't thank everybody enough for Shockfest and everybody there, Jeffrey McCobb and the whole team. You guys are great, and I love you. But what inspired me to do films was first Star Wars, my favorite film of all time, The Exorcist. And the reason why Exorcist, because in that time when it came out, it was shot beautifully. The storyline was done great. It didn't just jump right into boom, blood, gore, twisted stuff like that. No, it built up. And then finally it was like a roller coaster ride, and the clamps on the wheels for the roller coaster just let go, and then all hell broke loose. I thought it was so brilliant. And for anybody to make a film and go in the theater and see it and you throw up from watching the film, that's brilliance right there. And then came along other great films. Of course, I'm a big Steven Spielberg fan. Anything he'd done from helping George Lucas on the Indiana Jones films to E.T. E.T. is another great one for me. Brilliantly done. And then James Cameron comes along and does Aliens. Of course, I love the original Alien. That was actually absolutely brilliant too. That era of filmmaking around that time was just absolutely brilliant. A lot of practical effects, and I love practical effects. So with James Cameron coming along and doing Titanic and Aliens and so many other great films, and then there comes Michael Bay. I know some people just probably rolled their eyes. Michael Bay, Mr. Helicopter Guy. And they're some of my biggest inspirations. Spielberg, definitely. All these great directors, even Martin Scorsese was brilliant in everything he done. They used the camera as a character, not as a tool. And that was what inspired me. Those are my major inspirations in the film industry. After Rosalie, I've learned my lesson. Here's the thing I'm going to tell you guys. You got to have many failures to succeed. And you got to surround yourself by positive people and everybody that believes in your vision. You're not the best. Always think that. You're not the best. There's always something to learn. And there's always a chance that someone can come along on your crew will give you an idea and it's brilliant. So don't think you're the best, because if you think you're the best, your ego will get in the way and you will fail again. So with that being said, I'm honored to be recognized as one of the indie filmmakers, and I'm not done yet. I'm 52 years old and I'm still going. I've just begun. So with this, I'm going to have a couple short films for you guys to watch and a music video. I thank you again for everything, and everyone have a great night and enjoy and Godspeed, and I love you. Take care.